Most couples who've been together 50 years will tell you the same thing. They almost gave up in year 7. Let me tell you why that matters. I'm going to be straight with you. I've sat with a lot of people in their final weeks. You know what they talk about? Not money, not careers, not the vacation they didn't take. They talk about relationships, the ones they fought for, the ones they let die, the ones they wish they'd understood better. And here's the question nobody wants to ask, but everyone wonders, is it actually possible to be happy with one person for the long haul? Or are we all just pretending, white-knuckling through something that's supposed to feel natural? Because if you've been in a relationship for more than a few years, you've probably noticed something. The person you fell in love with, they're still there, but something fundamental has shifted. And nobody prepared you for that shift. Nobody told you it was coming. And when it hits, most people think they made a mistake. They didn't. But what they do next, that's where the mistake happens. Here's what actually happens in long-term relationships, and why most people don't see it coming. In the beginning, you're running on brain chemistry. Dopamine, oxytocin, all of it. You're not seeing the person clearly. You're seeing the best version of them filtered through biology designed to get you to reproduce. That's not love yet. That's infatuation doing exactly what it's designed to do. And that's fine. That chemistry serves a purpose. It gets you close enough, long enough, to see if there's something real underneath. Then the chemistry fades. Not because something's wrong, because that's what chemistry does. It's temporary by design, and this is where most people panic. They think, the spark is gone. I don't feel it anymore. Maybe this isn't right. Stop overcomplicating it. The spark didn't die, it transformed. You're just too busy mourning what you lost to notice what you gained. Because here's what nobody tells you. The early chemistry was about excitement. What comes after is about something deeper. It's about whether you actually like this person, whether you respect them, whether you'd choose them as your partner in the real work of building a life. Most people never make it past this point because they mistake the end of infatuation for the end of love. Around year 7, give or take, there's another shift, a big one. And I've seen too many good relationships end here because people didn't understand what was happening. You start seeing each other clearly. All the stuff you overlooked before, you can't overlook it anymore. All the little compromises you made, they start to feel like losses. You look at this person and think, is this it? Is this my life? And here's where it gets hard, because you have a choice. You can blow it up, tell yourself you made a mistake, that you settled, that there's someone better out there. Or you can do the harder thing. You can rebuild. Most people choose the first option, not because it's right, because it's easier to start over than to do the real work of deepening something that already exists. Laugh if you want, but it's the truth. The 7-year itch isn't about boredom. It's about grief. You're grieving the fantasy version of the relationship, the one where everything stays easy, where you never have to negotiate, where you always feel like you did at the beginning. That relationship never existed, and holding on to it is killing the real relationship you could have. Because here's what I've learned watching people who stay together for decades. The ones who make it aren't the ones who never struggled. They're the ones who learned to rebuild multiple times. Every 7 to 10 years, something shifts. You change, they change, life changes, and you have to choose each other again, but differently. The people who don't understand this, they spend their whole lives chasing the first 3 years with different people. Same chemistry, same crash, same confusion about why it didn't work. So what do you actually do? How do you build a relationship that doesn't just survive but gets better? Step 1. Stop comparing your year 7 to someone else's year 1. First, stop measuring your long-term relationship against new relationships. That's insane. You're comparing depth to novelty. They're not the same thing. Would you compare a 20-year friendship to someone you just met at a party? No. So why do it with romance? Step 2. Understand what you're actually building. A stable relationship isn't about constant excitement. It's about building a partnership that can handle reality, You're creating a foundation for the life you actually want to live, not the highlight reel you post online. That means you need three things. First, respect. Not admiration, not infatuation. Respect. Can you respect how they handle hard things? Do you respect their character, even when you're frustrated with their behavior? Second, aligned values. Not identical, aligned. You don't need to agree on everything, but you better agree on the big stuff. How you handle money, how you deal with conflict, whether you're building toward something or just killing time. Third, willingness to repair. This is the one that matters most. You're going to hurt each other. That's not the question. The question is, can you repair it? Can you apologize? Can you forgive? Can you come back to the table after a fight and actually work it out? Step 3. Learn to rebuild when it shifts. When you hit those transition points, year 7, year 15, whenever, here's what you do. You sit down. You acknowledge that something has changed, and you ask, what do we need now that we didn't need before? Maybe you need more autonomy. Maybe you need more connection. Maybe the way you've been dividing responsibilities doesn't work anymore. Maybe you need to remember why you chose this person in the first place. But you don't run. You don't assume it's broken just because it's different. You rebuild together. Step 4. Accept that happy doesn't mean easy. Stop waiting for it to feel effortless. The couples who've been together 50 years, they worked for it. They chose it every day, even the days, especially the days when they didn't feel like it. You know what the most common regret is? Waiting. Waiting for it to feel right. Waiting for the perfect moment. Waiting for the other person to change first. You don't need permission. You need courage. And courage is built by acting. I've seen too many people die thinking they had more time. Time to fix the marriage, time to have the conversation, time to decide if they're in or out. And then time runs out and the decision gets made for them. Here's what nobody tells you about relationships. The ones that last aren't the ones that never had problems. They're the ones where both people decided the relationship was worth more than their pride. Worth more than being right. Worth more than the fantasy of something easier. You want to know if a happy long-term relationship is possible? Yes, absolutely. But not if you're expecting it to look like year 2 forever. Not if you bail every time it gets hard. Not if you think happy means you never have to work for it. The people who make it, they're not special. They're not lucky. They just understood something most people don't. Love isn't something you find. It's something you build, and then rebuild, and then rebuild again. Stop overcomplicating it. It's simpler than you think. You choose someone. You see them clearly, flaws and all. You decide they're worth it. And then, when it gets hard, you choose them again. Different circumstances, same choice. That's it. That's the whole thing. Now, here's what you do today. If you're in a relationship and you're wondering if it's worth it, ask yourself this. Do I respect this person? Are our values aligned? Can we repair when we mess up? If the answer is yes, stop looking for problems. Stop comparing. Stop waiting for it to feel like it did at the beginning. Build something real instead. And if the answer is no, if you don't respect them, if your values are fundamentally opposed, if you can't repair, then you already know what to do. You're just avoiding doing it. You're running out of time to have the hard conversations. Stop waiting. Start today. Because I promise you this, 20 years from now, you won't regret trying. You'll only regret waiting.